instead of chiseling out, which I did on the first couple pieces, this is much faster, much easier, and I think it's going to be a little bit better accuracy wise as well. And what I've done here is this is my hose holder. You know, I clamp this down to my workbench and it keeps my hose in place when I'm sanding or using my shaper origin. Now, all I'm doing here is just putting this on here, and I dropped my table down to get this surface parallel to my belt. And then what I've been doing is just clamping this piece to it, allowing me to just touch the one corner and then the other and kind of make this, I wish I knew what the radius was, but trying to match this radius that I put on here to the back piece of my chair. This is not it, but this is the same radius I'm trying to match. And I can use this as a bit of a guide. Actually, I've been using this piece here. So I'm trying to match this radius. You know, like I said, I don't know what it is. I could find out, but at any rate, that's what I'm trying to do here. Is just touch this corner, touch that corner, back and forth lightly, and take off. Incidentally, I've got to mark this so that I don't go too far. I mark the corner, the edges. Let's see, I've got it that way. I've got to mark it like this. Mark this edge. This is my max depth here. And then do this side from the opposite way. There. Now I can clamp it. Okay, so that's my max depth. Hope you can see that line there. And then it's also on the other side. And now I will attempt to show you what I'm doing here. All right, here we go. That's all there is to it. I am going to take just a little bit more off of this edge. You can kind of see by the reveal that I'm a bit heavier on this side than this side here. Just a little touch. And then keeping it toward the middle to the outside. That's a pretty good match. And it also gives me a line to rest on. So I'm happy with that. Alright, after marking this with the pencil, I cut it out, I cut a channel out about the same depth as I did with my belt sander here to the outside edge. And I've just fitted this a couple of times. It drops in pretty nice. What it does is it registers here, and it's just above the line down here, so I'm happy with that. So that piece is going to sit like that. Let's see if I can get a clamp on this one. Okay. And get the clamp on the other side here. Keep this lined up. Like so. Alright, now bring in another one. Letting it rest on that shoulder. Eyeball the spacing. Alright. That's the channel on this one. I'll show you how I cut that when I get this set up. Alright, so here are my marks. They're pretty well square, so I'm just going with a square cut here. It's close to that line, so I want to leave the line. Yeah. I'm going to go right there. Just this is just a hair wider than 3/4. Now this is kind of a big bite, but I'm doing it anyway. Come at it from the other side. Alright, because you're going across the grain, it's a little bit rough, but pretty good on the depth. Yeah, that's good. Alright, let's see how this one fits. There it is. Okay. Clamp that one down here. I'm gonna grab a clamp. Let's see if I can get the third one. No. Stay. Alright, I've got them all scribed. Now it's just a matter of figuring out this piece and how I'm going to attach here. I'm going to take the dog for a walk and come back and see what I can come up with. Alright, I've got a problem here. The curve does not match perfectly. I guess that's the way it is. This one got to come up there. So you can see I got quite a gap here with some of these. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to scribe the bottom of these and then cut them back a little bit like I did up here, so that piece will go back and tuck in a little bit and hold everything in place. At least I'm hoping that'll solve some of this problem. That one's got to come up to there. Alright, this may be the problem. You can see that I've got this sculpted to here, but then it rises up, so I've got to sculpt that back into this corner on both of these and see if that'll help me tuck things in a little bit. I just took a chisel and followed this contour back into that corner, scribing a line. So that should take care of some of the problem. I'll find out here. Well, that didn't help much. So I'm still got a pretty good gap. Make sure I got that one back where it belongs, yeah. What's happening is I'm touching on the outside edge and then I'm losing it to the inside. So I need to take some just off the outside corners and finesse those a little bit. Let's see if I can get away with it. Alright, I've come up with a game plan. It's amazing what a good night's sleep will do for you. I'm going to take and just continue on with this process. I've notched this end of the board You see here. So the back side has got that slight curve to it. The front side facing the seat of the chair is just a straight, about an 1/8 inch deep cut. Let me just check this for sure. I just set up my saw, I never really even measured it. Yeah, 1/8 inch deep. And that helps that lock into this piece here. So radius to the back. Then this is also relieved for the back support here. And then now that just gives me a kind of a positive seat where the piece seats into these two pieces. It's really only touching at one point here. You know, I've got good registration along the back. I've got to come up with them. I've looked at my bolts. The 1/4-20 would work. You know, it's long enough. I've got 1/4-20 carriage bolts, 1 3/4 inch. But my concern is removing too much material from this piece. It is kind of thin. So I might go to 10/32s. I just need to hold them in place. You know, you could even just use wood screws, but I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. I'm gonna have to get some other hardware. The other thing I was thinking about was running a screw through the bottom here, through this piece, through these, and into this, with this being a through hole, you know, all the way through, and then capturing it by going into that big curved slat there. Lots to think about, but I've got a game plan. I'm going to just continue and cut my other slats with this 1/8 inch relief cut, and then start positioning them along this radius here. Alright, kind of hard to see this scribe line, but that's there. Let's go this way. Should drop the knife in that line first. There we go. All right. Now just relieve this a little bit. This will just give me a positive shoulder to sneak up on when I put it on the table saw. Okay, so I'll take this to the table saw, run a few kerfs, get that relieved all the way back, and then do the next one. So I'll run this and I'll be right back.